Constable Steve Derry is being remembered as a well-liked and happy young man this morning as tributes continue to pour in for the police officer from Ottawa killed while on duty. Reporter Melissa Lamb has the latest on how he is being honored. Melissa?
Well, Kurt, everywhere on Facebook and on Twitter, people are posting pictures of a black ribbon and his police crest with words of condolence. Now, Derry was killed in the line of duty on Saturday after responding to a domestic dispute call. Shots were fired at him and his partner, who were taken to hospital where Derry died. The other officer, whose name has not been released, is in stable condition. The woman was able to escape the home unharmed. The suspect's body was found inside the home yesterday. It appears he took his own life. Derry was just 27 years old. He grew up in Orleans, just east of Ottawa. Those who knew him say he was the nicest guy. In a private message, former co-worker Tia Borden says Derry was full of life, so happy all the time. He had such a positive energy that rubbed off on everyone around him. You could always count on him to lift your spirits. Outside of that, he was extremely hardworking. Now, funeral arrangements have not been made. It's unclear if it will be in Kuujjuaq. Coming up at 8:30, we'll have more details on the crime rate in this small northern Quebec town. Kurt?
Melissa Lamb reporting live in our newsroom this morning. Thank you, Melissa. The Ottawa Health Coalition joining a province-wide day of action today to protest planned cuts in Ontario's hospitals. The coalition says the Ottawa hospitals plan to eliminate 290 positions next fiscal year, will reduce patient care and hospital support by more than 500,000 hours a year. Officials warn cuts to outpatient services are being planned next. A rally is planned for outside the Ottawa Hospital Civic Campus at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Public inquiry into the mall collapse in Elliott Lake that killed 2 women begins today. The inquiry will attempt to determine why the roof collapsed at the Algo Centre mall last June. Commissioner Paul Belanger says the inquiry won't point fingers or assign blame for the incident, but rather seek to find exactly what happened. The hearings will also assess the emergency response to that collapse. Workers continue the delicate process of demolishing a Florida home where a massive sinkhole swallowed a man last week. A giant red crane is being used to tear down the one-story home near Tampa. Once the debris is cleared, engineers will get a better look at the sinkhole and figure out the best way to fill it. 37-year-old Jeff Bush is presumed dead after the earth beneath his bedroom collapsed last Thursday while he was sleeping. A retired Canadian soldier should soon find out whether he'll go to prison for leading a deadly training accident in Afghanistan. A sentencing hearing starts today in the court-martial of former warrant officer Paul Ravensdale. He faces a maximum of life in prison after being convicted on charges including breach of duty causing death. Ravensdale was leading a test of anti-personnel mines 3 years ago when one misfired, killing a soldier. BC Premier Christy Clark vowing to lead the governing Liberals into British Columbia's May election. Clark dismissed calls for her resignation following an emergency cabinet meeting last night in Vancouver. The Premier also apologized again for a leaked memo proposing her Liberals use government resources to court the ethnic vote in this spring's provincial election. Members of the South Asia Liberal Party have signed a declaration demanding that Clark resign. The Harlem Shake has been performed on an airplane, in university classrooms, right here in our CTV Morning Live studios. But the dance in an Australian gold mine has cost 15 workers their jobs.
Con los terroristas.
YouTube video showing 8 miners wearing safety gear while performing the dance last week. A newspaper reports the miners were fired from their high-paying jobs after the owner deemed the dance a safety hazard. One of the fired workers says people who watched the performance but did not participate were also fired.